This winter, millions of pensioners across the UK will see money land in their accounts, but not everyone will get the same amount. The Department for Work and Pensions has just confirmed the full details of this year's winter fuel payment. And trust me, there are some big changes you need to know about. Who qualifies, how much you'll get, and why some people could lose theirs altogether. It's all been revealed. So before you count on that extra cash for heating bills, make sure you know exactly where you stand, because one small detail could mean the difference between getting hundreds of pounds or getting nothing at all. Welcome to UK Insight, now your trusted guide for pensions, benefits, and senior living in the UK. Stay informed, stay supported, and enjoy your golden years with confidence. Subscribe now and join the community. Let's start with the basics. The winter fuel payment is a one-off tax-free lump sum intended to help older people cover extra heating and fuel costs during winter months. It's not a regular benefit instead. It's paid annually to eligible pensioners. And for 2025-2026, the rules have shifted significantly. Under the newly confirmed scheme, all state pensioners in England and Wales born on or before 22 September 1959 are now eligible to receive a winter fuel payment unless they choose to opt out. That marks a reversal from last year, when access was heavily restricted and tied only to people receiving pension credit or various means-tested benefits. The government's objective is clear: restore broader coverage, but still maintain an income check. Everyone gets the payment automatically, but if your taxable income exceeds £35,000 per year, HMRC may claw back the benefit via your tax code or self-assessment. So, eligibility is now defined by age and residence, and certain exclusions, not by whether you claim particular benefits. That means more pensioners will benefit automatically, without needing to apply. One of the first things you might ask, how much is this payment going to be? The confirmed amounts are relatively straightforward and depend on age and household circumstances during a qualifying week, which is 15 to 21 September 2025. Here's how it breaks down. For households that include someone aged 80 or over, the total payment will be £300. For households where everyone is under 80, the total is £200. If two pensioners live together, a couple, the payment is split between them, unless one is claiming pension credit, for example. For a £200 household payment, each gets £100. If one is 80, plus the payments are allocated proportionally, e.g., the older pensioner might get £200, the younger £100, totaling £300. These rules ensure that households with older pensioners receive slightly more support, reflecting that those aged 80 plus are more likely to have higher heating needs. If you live alone or the only person eligible in your household, your payment might be the full amount. If you live with another eligible pensioner, it's split. But if the person you live with is not eligible, for example, younger than the pension age, you might receive a higher solo payment. It's also important to note what counts as taxable income in this context. That includes state pension, any income from private pensions, employment income, if you are still working, interest from savings, outside of ISAs or dividends, other taxable state benefits, certain benefits that are tax-free, like pension credit, attendance allowance, disability living allowance, do not count toward the taxable income ceiling. If your taxable income is over £35,000, HMRC will reclaim your winter fuel payment. Recovery is done either by adjusting your tax code in 2026-2027, for most people, or via the self-assessment process, if you already file a tax return. Crucially, you do not need to apply if you already receive benefits that qualify you for the payment. The system will work automatically for most people. One caveat: if you've deferred your state pension and aren't receiving any benefits, the DWP may not have your bank details. In such cases, you might need to submit a claim manually. The deadline for claims is 31 March 2026. Also, some are excluded from eligibility: individuals whose entire week of 15-21 September they spent in hospital receiving free treatment, those imprisoned during the whole qualifying week, those subject to immigration restrictions that do not permit access to public funds. If you live in a care home, you can still receive the payment unless you're receiving an income-related benefit, like pension credit, and have been in the care home since before 23 June. The government expects this restored winter fuel payment scheme to benefit around 9 million pensioner households in England and Wales. Now, it's worth pointing out how this is a shift from the past few years. In 2024, access to winter fuel payment was narrowed sharply. Only those on pension credit or similar means-tested benefits were eligible. That led to widespread criticism, especially when pensioners with moderate incomes lost out despite facing high energy bills. Weighing in on that backlash, Labour's Chancellor Rachel Reeves confirmed she would reverse the cut and restore broader eligibility. The government framed this move as a return to principle: everyone deserves help during winter, but wealthy pensioners will still ultimately pay back if their income is high. Despite this, Pensions Minister Torsten Bell has made it clear that the plan is not to restore a fully universal payment, meaning millionaires or very high-income individuals won't benefit. Let's run through a few realistic examples. Example 1. A single pensioner aged 70, living alone, with taxable income of £30,000. She qualifies. She'll receive £200 directly into her bank. Example 2. A couple, both age 75, living together, neither over 80, with joint incomes under £35,000 each. The household payment is £200, split to £100 each. Now, a few key procedural and administrative points. You will receive a letter in October or November 2025 informing you exactly how much you will get. Payment will be made automatically into the bank account your benefits are paid into. If you don't get a letter, but believe you are eligible, it's recommended to check if you need to make a claim. You have the option to opt out entirely. Some pensioners may do this to avoid the hassle of payments being reclaimed through tax. If your circumstances change, for example, your income falls below the threshold, there's usually scope to opt back in before the end of the tax year. Another major concern: scams. Fraudsters often take advantage of changes in benefits schemes to target vulnerable pensioners. There have already been reports of fake text messages claiming to be from DWP Service Centre, urging people to click links or provide bank details to apply for the winter fuel payment. The DWP is warning that there is no requirement to apply for this payment. If you're already eligible, any message urging you to click a link or submit sensitive data is highly likely a scam. What else might pensioners consider or watch out for? Joint households. With more than 2 pensioners, the payment is typically split proportionally, and the same income test applies individually. Deferred pensions or irregular benefits. These are edge cases where extra steps may be needed. Properties abroad or international residence. The rules change. Living overseas usually disqualifies you unless you live in a country with similar winter conditions and a genuine and sufficient link to the UK's social security system. Future years. While these rules are for the 2025-2026 winter, nothing yet is guaranteed or locked in for later winters. The policy could shift again, depending on political priorities and fiscal pressures. Thanks for watching UK Insight Now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other seniors who need this info. See you in the next video. Stay well, stay informed.